Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have an important topic that has been requested by many of you. How to get an individual tax identification number ITIN if you're a non-US citizen. So if you are looking for a way to navigate the US tax system as a non-resident or foreigner, this video is definitely for you. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos and managing your finances like a pro. If you've got any questions or suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I always appreciate your feedback. First off, let's start with the basics. What exactly is an ITIN, an individual tax identification number? ITIN is a tax processing number issued by the Internal Revenue Service, IRS. It's a 9-digit number that always begins with the number 9 and is assigned to individuals who need to file taxes in the US but don't qualify for a Social Security number, SSN. Essentially, this is for non-US citizens, including those who are in the US on a temporary visa, foreign nationals, and other individuals who have to fulfill tax obligations but aren't eligible for a Social Security number. You might be wondering, why exactly do you need an ITIN? An ITIN is required if you have a US tax liability, which means you owe taxes or need to file a return, but you're not eligible for an SSN. You'll need this number to file your US federal taxes, claim any tax refunds, or fulfill other tax obligations. This also applies if you're a foreign national with US source income, such as income from investments or property within the United States. Even if you live outside the US, if you have any income that's taxable by the IRS, you'll need an ITIN to comply with US tax laws. Another reason to get an ITIN is if you're a dependent or spouse of a US citizen or resident alien who needs to file taxes. Having this identification number makes sure you're in compliance with IRS regulations. One of the most frequently asked questions I get is, what documents do you need to submit when applying for an ITIN? This is crucial, as any missing or incorrectly submitted documentation can result in your application being rejected. The first and most important document is a certified copy of your passport. Your passport is the primary standalone document that is widely accepted by the IRS when you apply for an ITIN. However, it's essential that this copy is duly certified by the issuing authority. This means that the issuing body, such as the government or an authorized representative, certifies that this is a true and valid copy of your passport. Now, if you can't submit a passport, you may also be able to submit 2 or more of the following documents: foreign birth certificate, visa issued by the US Department of State, national ID card, which includes your photo, name, address, date of birth, and expiration date, US or foreign driver's license, US military ID card, foreign voters registration card. Each of these documents must be current, meaning they are not expired at the time of your ITIN application. Another question I often hear is, what is the role of a certifying acceptance agent, CAA, and why should you use one? Great question. A certifying acceptance agent, CAA, is an individual or business authorized by the IRS to assist non-US citizens with the ITIN application process. One of the biggest mistakes applicants make is filling out the W-7 IRS ITIN application form without understanding the full scope of requirements. The form itself is just one part of the process, but there are additional supporting documents and certifications needed to make sure your application is valid. A CAA helps by verifying the authenticity of your documents, certifying that everything is accurate, and submitting the application on your behalf. They ensure that you don't miss any steps, which is important because any small mistake could lead to the rejection of your application. By working with a certified acceptance agent, you minimize the chance of rejection. This can save you from the frustration of having to reapply, which would ultimately delay you in obtaining your ITIN. So, why is working with a CAA the best route? For starters, CAAs are experts in this field and have been specifically authorized by the IRS to handle ITIN applications. They are familiar with the entire process, including the specific requirements for different types of applicants. Additionally, CAAs are capable of verifying documents for both individuals inside and outside of the U.S. Here's another reason. CAAs can certify your documents and forward them to the IRS without needing to send your original documents, which means you don't have to risk sending your passport or other vital identification documents by mail. This is especially beneficial for applicants living outside the U.S., as it avoids the worry of losing important documents in transit. You can easily find a list of approved certifying acceptance agents, CAA, both within the United States and abroad on the IRS website. Simply search for a CAA near you, make an appointment, and they will guide you through the rest of the process. The next question many people ask is, how long does it take to get an ITIN after you've submitted your application? Typically, the IRS takes about 7 weeks to process an ITIN application if you submit everything correctly the first time. However, if you live outside the U.S., the process could take longer, up to 9 to 11 weeks. That's why it's critical to make sure all your documentation is in order before submitting the application. Again, using a CAA can help ensure your application is processed as smoothly as possible, avoiding unnecessary delays. Did you know that your ITIN can expire? Yes, it's true. ITINs that haven't been used on a federal tax return in the last 3 years automatically expire. If you know that your ITIN is expiring or has already expired, you need to renew it to avoid any delays in your tax filing process. To renew your ITIN, you'll need to submit a new Form W-7 along with the required documentation, just like when you initially applied. And of course, I highly recommend using a CAA to guide you through the renewal process to avoid any mistakes. Filing taxes with an ITIN is incredibly important for anyone who has taxable income in the U.S. Even if you live abroad, the IRS still requires you to report any U.S. source income, which includes investments, wages, or property. Failing to comply with U.S. tax laws can lead to penalties, interest, or even legal action. Another significant advantage of filing with an ITIN is that it allows you to access certain tax credits. For instance, you may be eligible for the Child Tax Credit, CTC, even if you don't qualify for a Social Security number. Filing taxes on time and accurately ensures that you stay in compliance with U.S. tax laws and avoid any unnecessary complications down the road. So that wraps up today's video on how to get an ITIN for non-U.S. citizens. Remember, working with a certifying acceptance agent can make this process much smoother and more efficient. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new video. And as always, if you have any more questions or suggestions, drop them in the comments below. I'm always happy to help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.